BDR's single app encrypts your PHI data and application class code. Defeats attempts by hackers to steal your data and corporate secrets. Meet HIPAA, CCPA, GDPR regulations and keep your FHIR data secure and usable. BDR uses multiple layers of encryption to absolutely protect your data and application code while providing an innovative process to protect access to applications that launch jobs through BDR. Don't disrupt your existing business processes, BDR keeps your business running as usual. We are starting with a fresh install of our Big Data Revealed Complete application. This application solves HIPAA, CCPA, CPRA, GDPR and most data regulatory requirements for most every RDBMS and major data lakes. This application will be using BDR's new BDR Secure and will apply encryption to all 650 class code programs, making them secure from reverse engineering and the identification of companies' personal, hidden information. This install process also optionally installs a complete FHIR server encrypting all big data revealed custom class code, and when data is imported into FHIR, BDR will securely encrypt the personal healthcare information. As you see, we are setting up the BDR's configuration, passwords, ports and much more. While the BDR class code, again over 650 of these programs, they are all being encrypted and secured. This will add the security levels also necessary to protect the FHIR server and its PHI content. Here we are drilling into the BDR code and looking at the BDR jar file, and we can see that the jar file is encrypted. Now we are drilling into hundreds of class code programs and randomly looking into one of them, and again we see the BDR secure application encrypted this class code. All this makes it unlikely of reverse engineering, and where this encrypted class code communicates with other encryption keys and communications necessary to keep the FHIR and all data secure and unreadable and usable by internal and foreign hackers. In order to gain access to BDR and its encrypted class code and processing, a secure user must have one of the encryption keys even to start the BDR application. The next level of security: each authorized users must have proper credentials to access and use the BDR application. Here we see data encryption keys, though they themselves have been encrypted and only accessible by encrypted class code. We are viewing some data in the FHIR and BDR schemas, and we can see this data is secured with encryption. Here is a quick look at just a portion of the BDR FHIR configuration from the BDR graphical interface. We are simply adding a patient to the FHIR database to show that BDR encrypts this data. Now we are viewing the added patient and see this data is actually encrypted. Now we are demonstrating searching for the just added patient, and even though this patient data is now encrypted, the BDR application is able through its encrypted class code and encrypted FHIR database securely gain access to and display this data. Now the patient has requested for their FHIR stored data to be downloaded to their computer or device. The patient is required to add 2 passwords. One password to unzip the downloaded file and a second password needed to run the decryption process to view the encrypted downloaded personal data. After moving the download zip to a new directory, the patient attempts to unzip the package and is prompted for the first password. After the first password is accepted, it opens up the content of the secured zip package. Now we are showing how the second password protection is used to decrypt the download personal patient file. The patient just needs to click on the supplied application. We are just showing the command line process behind the decryption process. Now we are showing the decrypted view of the patient's personal FHIR download after a successful password was entered. Here we see the actual data back in the FHIR database is still and will stay encrypted. Here we are opening and displaying the original downloaded FHIR patient data and see it is encrypted and was only decrypted into a new file after the patient entered the proper security credentials. Lastly, we are showing we have made our BDR data proxy even more secure by encrypting the class code. The proxy handles communications between decrypted and encrypted data packets and buffers, and the ultimate viewing and use of secured, encrypted personal data. Don't disrupt your existing business processes, BDR keeps your business running as usual. BDR, AHP 847-440-4439.